If we think about the past 15 to 20 years, there has been so many brands that have came up and fallen off during the times. But there are so many brands that could possibly be the pioneers of the game. But by being a pioneer doesn't necessarily mean that you get the credit that you deserve. In today's video, we're going to talk about LRG and a little about its history of why it was so important for its time. Jonas Bevacqua, born in 1977, along with his colleague Robert Wright, whom were both designers and entrepreneurs who helped form the brand LRG in 1999. The company designed clothing for underground cultures such as hip-hop scene and skateboarders. While previous designers had focused on just one scene, LRG decided from the start to cross boundaries and provide clothing for all such subcultures. Now, LRG of course was not the only exception, but they definitely assisted with the movement of skateboarding and hip-hop along the way. Both founders were interested in clothing that reflected their own diverse interests. While initial sales were slow, they quickly became profitable by 2002. LRG's first booth was at Action Sports Retailer Expo in San Diego. By noon the first day, it had sold out 300 pairs of pants and 4 styles each of hoodies and shirts. And where LRG started to get their big break is when celebrities like Kobe Bryant, Reggie Bush, Kanye West, John Legend, and many more had worn their clothing. In 2006, Entrepreneur magazine estimated the company's annual revenue at $150 million and ranked LRG 5th among the 500 fastest growing companies that year. It was said that their design inspirations ranged from polo sport to thrift stores to even staying up late and getting blasted and thinking about weird, meaningful stuff, much like any teenager and many American streetwear brands today. In 2007, DNR, the Men's Fashion Weekly, named LRG the Young Man's Brand of the Year. It said LRG was not quite interpreting trends, but it actually created them. In an interview with DNR, Jonas mentioned, after 3 or 4 years, we started getting a cult following. People realized it was okay to wear purple and turquoise and to have lavender V-necks. During the height of LRG, they did a lot of collaborations, but in those days, they were simply called partnerships. In 2005, LRG introduced a women's line called Luxury, targeting women ages 18 to 30. Luxury's official Canadian and US launch was in 2006. That year, the company also partnered with T-Mobile to create a limited edition Sidekick 3 smartphone. Other partnerships had LRG putting its monster emblem on an exclusive iPhone case and creating LRG motorcycles. Now, if we talk about trends and streetwear, we always know a particular brand to be well known for a few items. And over the years, LRG definitely produced many different garments, whether it was hoodies, jackets, t-shirts, track jackets, hats, and they were also very well known for their denim. And some of their most popular items that I remember them for was their popular leaf camo that was also seen on their cargo shorts and hoodies. And the second most memorable graphic or item from LRG that I remember was the t-shirts that all said Hustle Trees on them. These might have been produced closer to 2009, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you remember otherwise. The third widely popular item that LRG produced was also the track jacket, which came in many different colors, but more popularly, black and white ones were more sought after. And of course, for the fourth item that I have to bring up for LRG is the skeleton hoodie or skull hoodie that debuted in 2007. This hoodie was such in high demand that some stores sold them for upwards of $225. 2007 is also the same year that LRG did more than $150 million in sales. Of course, these are not all the items that did well for them, but for the most part, these were some of the most coveted that I can think of. Not only did Jonas and Robert know how to speak to a generation of kids that were hungry for looking fresh, but they also knew how to be on top of creativity and trends. Some will say what sealed the deal for LRG is how many celebrities endorsed it at the time. When hip-hop stars like Kanye West and Lupe Fiasco started to wear LRG, the brand was firmly established. LRG supported independent artists by releasing compilation CDs, giving newcomers a chance to showcase their talent. Now, moving forward from the mid-2000s, the brand will likely continue to network and partner with celebrities in music and sports, creating limited edition and opportunities for more. As of 2008, LRG did not have any brick-and-mortar stores, though the company does still sell its clothes online. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, if this brand did so well and created so many trends, why isn't it still reigning over the largest streetwear companies as we know today? Well, the definite answer isn't for sure, but what we can come to terms with is that eventually LRG, much like other clothing brands of that particular time, had already been selling in retailers like Macy's, Tilly's, and Zumiez. Arguably, this is where many streetwear head enthusiasts claim where streetwear brands go to die. The pretentious attitudes of streetwear enthusiasts and hypebeasts tend to stay away from these major retailers because it now reaches the masses of people that the original followers were trying to avoid in the first place. Although the brand's bold designs and innovative aesthetics were still up to par for the early 2000s, LRG had taken a turn for the worse in 2011. Jonas Bevacqua, at age 34, had passed away in his home in Los Angeles. The Orange County Coroner Division announced that he had died of natural causes. and much of this tragic part of the story is better explained online. But what we can say for the duration of this video is that if we take a couple steps back and think about Jonas and his impact on streetwear, he's kind of an untold legend in this game that probably doesn't get the credit he deserves. In my opinion, LRG could have gone down as one of the greatest contributing streetwear brands to pave the path of how we know this merge of skating and hip-hop alike. Although their move to selling to major retailers that hypebeasts and streetwear enthusiasts are not fond of, we have to keep in mind that hype does not always pay the bills and create a solid business. I can always elaborate more on what I mean by that in another video. So for better or worse, in 2017, Robert Wright, who was the other owner of LRG, ended up selling the brand to a global licensed apparel wholesaler called Mad Engine. So as it stands, LRG today may not have the same popularity you might remember it for depending on what country you live in. But what we do know is that Jonas Bevacqua's mantra lives on and is still sold in larger department stores such as Macy's, Zumiez, and Tilly's for a slightly different but settling demographic in contemporary times. By concluding this video, I hope this was educational, and I'll try my best to continue the series of the channel by covering the history of brands and their impact. Thanks again for tuning in, and make sure you guys and girls keep it locked right here for all your latest information from music, fashion to culture. It's your boy Keezy. I'm out. Peace.